नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 82. Krishna meets the inhabitants of Vrindavan, text 48. Everyone can hear in online?
You could move it a little bit closer to you, the microphone or iPad.
Better now?
Better.
Text 48.
Good.
Ahushchate Nalina Naba Padaravindam Yogeshware Hidi Vichintyam Agada Bodhai Samsara Kupa Patitota Pranavavalambam Yeham Jusamapi Manasi Udiyat Sadana. Word by word meaning, Ahu, the gopis said, Cha and Te, your Nalina Nabha, O Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, Padaravindam, lotus feet, Yoga Ishwarai, by the great mystic yogis, Hridhi, within the heart, Vichintyam, to be meditated upon, Agada Bodhai, who were highly learned philosophers. Samsara Kupa, the dark well of material existence. Patita, of those fallen. Uttarana, of deliverers. Avalambam, the only shelter. Geham, family affairs. Jusham, of those engaged. Api, though. Manasi, in the minds. Udiyat, let be awakened. Sada, always. Na, our. Translation and purport. Translation. The gopis spoke thus. Dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, your lotus feet are the only shelter of those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts. Although we are only the ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. Purport. The translation and word meanings of these words are taken from Srila Prabhupada's English rendering of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 1.81, where this verse is quoted. Now the purport is given by the disciples of Prabhupada. Revealing the jealous mood in which the gopis spoke these deceptively reverential words, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti gives their statements as follows. O Supreme Lord, O directly manifest Super Soul, O crest jewel of instructors in definitive knowledge, you are aware of our excessive attachment to home, property and family. Therefore, you previously had Uddhava instruct us in the knowledge that dispels ignorance, and now you have done so yourself. In this way, you have purified our hearts of contamination, and as a result, we understand your pure love for us. Free from any motivation other than assuring our liberation. But we are only unintelligent cowherd men. How can this knowledge remain fixed in our hearts? We cannot even meditate steadily on your feet, the focus of realization for great souls like Lord Brahma. Please be merciful unto us and somehow make it possible for us to concentrate on you even a little. We are still suffering the reactions of our own fruitive work. So how can we meditate on you, the goal of great yogis? Such yogis are immeasurably wise, but we are merely feeble-minded women. Please do something to get us out of this deep well of material life. Continues. Pure devotees are never motivated by a desire for material elevation or spiritual liberation. And even if the Lord offers them such benedictions, the devotees often refuse to accept them. As stated by Lord Krishna in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11:20-34, Na kinchit sadhavo dhira bhakta hi ekantino mama vanchanti api maya dattam kaivalyam apunarbhavam. Because my devotees possess saintly behavior and deep intelligence, they completely dedicate themselves to me and do not desire anything besides me. Indeed, even if I offer them liberation from birth and death, they do not accept it. It is quite appropriate, therefore, that the gopis respond with a trace of jealous anger to Krishna's attempt to teach them, teaching them Dana Yoga. Thus, according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the words the gopis speak in this verse may be interpreted as follows. O son, who directly destroys the darkness of ignorance, we are scorched by the sun rays of this philosophical knowledge. We are chakora birds who can subsist only on the moonlight radiating from your beautiful face. Please come back to Vrindavan with us and in this way bring us back to life. And if he says, then come to Dwaraka, there we will enjoy together. They reply that Sri Vrindavan is their home and they are too attached to it for them to take up residence anywhere else. Only there, the gopis imply, can Krishna attract them by wearing peacock feathers in his turban and playing enchanting music with his flute. Only by his appearing again in Vrindavan can the gopis be saved, not by any other kind of meditation on him or theoretical knowledge of the self. Thus ends the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the 10th canto, 82nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Krishna and Balaram Meet the Inhabitants of Vrindavan. Om Jnanatmidandasya Janashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanatam Sha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek blessings of all devotees. Hare Krishna. To discuss on this verse. So this verse is the last verse in this chapter. So this is a conversation between the gopis and Krishna after the meeting in Kurukshetra after many years. The gopis are responding to Krishna's what Krishna has said to gopis. In the verse 45 and 44, the Lord Krishna from 41 onwards telling gopis on how to meditate upon him. So gopis are responded with only one verse. Krishna responded with 6 verses. He speaks on how to meditate on him. And then gopis are responding here with kind of a little jealous anger. Purport mentioned, kind of anger they are responding him. So they're mentioning here thus, the gopis spoke thus, Dear Lord, reading translation, whose navel is just like lotus flower, your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen in the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. So here, Krishna is superficially telling gopis that to meditate upon him, like Jnana Yoga. How to meditate upon him? He is not telling on his meditate upon me by thinking of me or my beautiful face. Krishna is telling meditate upon me by thinking of the creation. So in the previous verses, he's telling how the yogis meditate. They see everything in connection with Krishna. They see that Krishna is Paramatma in each and every atom and each and every soul. So they meditate on Paramatma form. And their ultimate goal is to reach Paramatma, or meditation. Some want to be merged in the Brahman realization. So because Krishna is indicating that, so gopis were not very happy, because already Krishna promised them he will come to Vrindavan. He never came. It's mentioned here that previously he sent Uddhava too. And Uddhava also, to elevate their pain, he instructed gopis, or he said gopis, to meditate on Krishna. And then Uddhava realizes that the exalted position of the gopis, that they are beyond, they are above the Jnana yogis. They are in the perfect form of Bhakti Yoga. They are in Bhakti Yoga. So as we know, Krishna is realized in three forms: Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, and Bhagavan realization. Prabhupada mentions how, if you want to know about sun, there are three ways to know about sun. One is by studying the sun rays. The second is by studying the sun globe itself. The third is by going in the sun planet, and there are inhabitants, that's Surya Narayan and other inhabitants in the sun planet. Three ways, out of which is the highest? When you know the source of that sun globe, that is Surya Narayan, the Lord in the planet. So when you know about, when you study, when you get knowledge about him, that's complete realization. So similarly, Lord's realization is complete by Bhagavan realization. It includes Paramatma and Brahman realization. Bhagavan realizations. So devotees they want to realize Lord as a person and have a relation with Lord. That's the goal of devotees. They are not looking for other forms of benedictions or other forms of realization, or even like it's mentioned from this in the purport, this 11th canto verse is quoted, where it's quoted here that Krishna is only telling in this verse is, because my devotees possess saintly behavior and deep intelligence, they completely dedicate themselves to me and do not desire anything besides me. Indeed, even if if I offer them liberation from birth and death, they do not accept it. But devotees do not want anything. They do not want heavenly planets, even liberation they don't want. All they want is to have that personal relation with Krishna, to serve Krishna. And gopis have this relation already with Krishna, and they are serving Krishna all the time in this operation. So this is the aspiration for any devotee. That is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also praying that Gopir Partor Padakamalayur Dasa. He's referring how to realize Krishna or how to serve Krishna is telling that the same way as Gopis Bhartur means Gopis husband or Gopis maintainer, that is Krishna. We want to serve them as servant of servant. So that is the aspiration of the devotees. And Gopis have perfected that. But Krishna here, so after meeting Gopis, Krishna didn't know what to say, because obviously Gopis will ask him that, hey Krishna, you are told you will come, you never came. So he didn't want to answer that, because Krishna didn't come to Vrindavan. Well, only reason is to increase the separation, because love and separation is the highest form. We cannot perceive, we cannot understand that with our, in the material world, separation is very painful. Now our loved ones are, when we are separated, we feel very pain. But in the spiritual realm, it's all opposite. So this material world is a reflection of spiritual world. Anything happens here or in the spiritual world, spiritual affairs, it's reflected here in an opposite way. So what is glorified here is condemned in spiritual world, and what is painful here is blissful in spiritual world. So in this material world, it's very painful, when someone is separated. But in spiritual world, it is the most blissful form, because in the separation, there's always remembrance, and that is the most blissful form. The gopis, even when they are with Krishna, they would have these feelings of separation, because Krishna will go away. Gopis would meet Krishna in the night when Krishna is in Vrindavan, and then they would have this feeling of separation even with Krishna. That okay, when it's dawn, Krishna will go away again, because Krishna goes to pasture grounds with cohort boys and all. So they would have that separation all the time, that feelings of separation, because that is what gives them the ultimate bliss. So to fulfill that desire, to give that bliss to gopis, Krishna didn't come to Vrindavan. So here in this verses, Krishna is telling about this meditating upon him, but they are beyond that. They are so much in separation, in the feelings of separation, thinking about Krishna, that when they met Krishna, they are condemning Lord Brahma for creating the eyelids, because when the eyelids blink for a fraction of a second, and they didn't want to miss Krishna, seeing Krishna. So that type of devotion or attraction they have. So what to speak of, like indirect remembrance of Krishna through the material elements, which the Gnana yogis do. So the gopis didn't like it, the response, the way Krishna is telling them to meditate. So they are also superficially responding here in this verse, that how can we do it? We are just a worldly cowherd woman, and we are attached to our family. You are telling us to meditate. It's not possible for us. Please help us. Gopis are also like kind of Krishna, like superficially they are answering. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says gopis took out a different meaning in Krishna's words. Okay, you are telling us like this, so that they took out a different meaning. What a different meaning that they took out different meaning that is mentioned here. So how a sun who directly destroys the darkness of ignorance, we are scorched by the sun rays of this philosophical knowledge. We are chakora birds who can subsist only on moonlight radiating from your beautiful face. Please come back to Vrindavan, and in this way bring us back to life. Because Krishna mentioned in previous verses that that its material world is like the scorching place of suffering, it's dark place of ignorance, and one, by meditating on him through the material elements, one can come out of ignorance. So they took it in a different way, and they're telling that Actually, we are suffering from the darkness of ignorance of your separation. And actually, the knowledge you gave is actually giving us that that scorching sun rays. That is where the knowledge you are telling to meditate upon, that itself is the philosophical knowledge you are telling us is like a scorching sun rays. So we are not fit for it. We are like the birds who are attracted to the moon, not sun. We are attracted to your moon-like face. So please come back to Vrindavan and then bring back to life. So the only way we can elevate our suffering, my dear Krishna, is to come back to Vrindavan. So we also there's other place mentioned in other scriptures like Puranas that that how gopis even took Krishna, Balram, and Subhadra on the chariot and they pulled towards Vrindavan. That's how we celebrate the Rath Yatra festival. It's a whole another class altogether. That's whole how gopis pulled Krishna. They in this place only. It's not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam here, but it's mentioned elsewhere. That how after all this conversation, because they both are expert in devotional service. Krishna may give one argument and they will give a different. So ultimately, gopis just, I think you just come, sit in the chariot, we'll go now to Vrindavan, and they start pulling to Vrindavan. But they were, later they were satisfied that they met Krishna and they all went back to Mathura. It's also mentioned in the Puranas that Krishna later went to meet the gopis later. So in different versions are there because Krishna appeared in different times or different yugas. I mean different days of Brahma. So different pastimes happened. So coming back to this verse in a way that so they are telling that just come to Vrindavan. Then Krishna may give an argument that let's go to Dwarka. But gopis are telling that we cannot leave Vrindavan because in Vrindavan only Krishna has that unique feature of wearing peacock feather and turban and playing with his flute like a simple cowherd boy. So not like in here in Dwarka, he is with like a king with the crown and all with these ornaments. And there's a mood it's more awe and reverence. Like we see in this whole chapter how different kings and they were all praying, they were all praising the residents of Dwarka that they are so fortunate that they are able to always be with the Supreme Lord. They can eat with him, and they can walk with him. They can converse him whenever they want, like that. So the mood in the Dwarka is he is the Supreme Lord. But in Vrindavan, that Aishwarya Bhav is not just a sweetness. It is Krishna is a simple cowherd boy, and they don't want anything from Krishna. They just want that Krishna be with them always, all together with them. So that's the mood they are missing. So they want Krishna to come back. But again, Krishna knows that me being away from Vrindavan in Dwarka will satisfy gopis more. So gopis are always seeing at how to serve Krishna, and Krishna is looking at how to serve gopis. Whether this is transcendental competition. So also we see that in the previous chapters in this Bhagavatam, when during the Rasa Leela pastime, when Krishna met gopis and they were like when Krishna disappeared from Rasa Leela, they were performing Krishna's pastimes themselves. They were so much immersed in Krishna's pastime, seeing that Krishna mentioned that how Krishna cannot repay their love. So Gopis is telling that like how they can never repay their love for him. He just says that just be satisfied with the love you have. That's the only thing I can say. So Gopis they are the ultimate perfection. They are the eternally with Krishna always. So, but here they are here to teach us that how to serve Krishna with no expectation, without any expectation. They just want to give pleasure to Krishna because Krishna likes like that. Krishna, as Supreme Lord, he doesn't want to be like a king or like a creator, maintainer, destroyer. A God means generator, originator, and destroyer. So he's not like he wants to be in that controlling position. He wants to be like a small boy, or like he just wants to be playing or be in the control of his devotees, like how he does his pastimes in Vrindavan. So the whole 10th canto we have read all these pastimes, different pastimes, the sweet pastimes of Krishna and the gopis and the residents of Vrindavan. So that is what Krishna wants. So the gopis know very well, gopis and residents, and they reciprocate with Krishna. That gives Krishna the most bliss. So gopis are also like that. And gopis, their bliss is when they are in separation with Krishna. And Krishna is reciprocating with gopis by going away from Vrindavan. So they are serving each other like that. So that's always in spiritual competition. That Krishna is serving his devotees and devotees are serving Krishna. So it's always the competition. The competition in the material world is that how can everyone serve me? No, that's the exploitation. It is not service. So everybody is looking in the material world how others can serve me, but in spiritual world, devotees are saying, "How can I serve Krishna?" So that's the realization. If we get in this material world that how I can always serve Krishna, not me, Krishna and his devotees. If we get that realization, that is called self-realization. Not the for the bhakti mark, that is the self-realization. For others, for jnanis and others, they have different meaning of self-realization. But for us, it is how I can always serve Krishna and his devotees without any expectation, without any in return. So if one realizes that, so we may theoretically know that, but that realization has to come because serving devotees and Krishna is not easy. Even to serve Krishna in different ways, there are 9 forms you can worship Krishna, you can serve Krishna. In Bhagavatam again mentioned that there are 9 ways to serve Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smarnam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. That there are different 9 ways one can serve Krishna. And then Krishna means Krishna and his devotees. So when we completely, that is our perfection, is to dedicate our lives to serve Krishna. So whatever we are doing, if we keep that as service to Krishna, then that's the perfection. So we can have some discussion. And there's many topics here in this.
We don't know how to manipulate this. You know how to do it?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Turn the camera to him.
Hmm?
Can you turn camera?
Okay,
You turn the camera
okay,
right.
towards you. There you
Hare Krishna. You can hear us okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Srimad Bhagavatam is instructive, showing us something we don't see. Love has many faces, Prabhupada said. Love has many faces. So there are varieties of ways that people express their relationship with Krishna. And hearing this passage, we're going through like a menu. You know, you go to the restaurant, you could order this, you could ask for this, you could ask for this. So there are degrees of intimacy. There are varying degrees of intensity and purity of love. Sometimes the relationship with Krishna is more like a servant to a master. Sometimes there's love mixed with duty. But the gopis are just head over heels. They won't settle for any of these other varieties of relationships. Krishna teases them and suggests different ways that they can relate to him. But they want to please Krishna. The love is so pure. They just want to please Krishna and show affection. And in the intimacy of the forest of Vrindavan, the village, formalities are dropped away. And there's just this playful and sweet, 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 affectionate, loving quality. And that's what they long for, and they won't settle for anything less. And even mixed in that relationship of loving affection is the way that Krishna intensifies that affection by separating himself from them, so that their love is increased, deeper, stronger, more absorbing. So we're hearing about the instructions of the varieties of things that we might suggest. And it appears like, so Prabhupada's explained to us, you could relate to Krishna in different ways: on reverence, duty, formality, majesty, or we can follow in the footsteps of these very, very intimate, loving personalities, these gopis. Gopi Bharta, Parakama, or dasa, and even become the servant of the gopis and love Krishna like that. That's what I can understand Srila Prabhupada explaining to us here, right?
Yes, you gave
Go
a
for the sweet, intimate.
very nice summary.
How funny. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Any other thoughts anyone has? Any other thoughts anyone has? Yeah.
How wonderful is Krishna.
How wonderful is Krishna.
That he provides these varieties of ways to relate to him. And people in whatever quality of relationship they have with Krishna, quality of relationship they have with Krishna, they're satisfied in that. The servants, the Shantaras, the parental affection. It's not that
It's complete.
they're complete, yeah. I can't bear to hear about all this pain of separation. It's too disturbing for the mind. I can't handle it. Maybe somebody else has something to share or comment or make an angle of vision.
Bhima? Mhm.
Haribol, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. All this is quite beyond me, except for the fact that we have a reflection to relate to in this world. And we talk about these ideal absolutes of the gopis' love, which is basically they're willing to take a bullet over and over and over again for Krishna. And, we say to ourselves, oh my God, it's just so much. I can barely get up early enough in the morning to chant 16 rounds, let alone take a bullet for Krishna. So I think that we've been given a rather lovely pass on this. Excuse me, I'm having to get grain for the horses. A lovely pass on this desire to develop these types of rasas, which are absolute in nature. Come on, get back, get back. And I think that is in our developing our relationships with other devotees, that the friendship and servitorship and even conjugal relations with our spouses should all reflect that same love, and is actually a chance for us to have an object lesson in what it is to be selfless rather than selfish in our giving of ourselves. And it is said that if you want to impress, or you want to show someone, if you want to show a rich man, give something to a rich man to show that you know, to impress him, so to speak. You give something to his child, or you pet his dog. You treat those who are dear to him dearly, because of course, just like Krishna, being a main man, he's always surrounded by the best of the best. So the only way that we can actually have a taste of this ras is by actually engaging in it with the other devotees, in friendship, in servitorship, in awe and reverence, you know, of our guru. And so we're given this chance to impress Krishna right here, right now, on this earth, right on this very day. And that is in our treatment of the devotees. I drove down last night, didn't get there until 10 o'clock at night, and saw Adi and Honeybee, Alice, Bhakti Alice, and a few other devotees, Ravindra, etc. And you know, it had been, you know, a few weeks since I'd been with the devotees, and the whole atmosphere and everything. Even though it was at night, and even though it was cursory and very quick, my heart physically was overjoyed being in the company of devotees. And I realized that even more powerful than nature itself and the power and the beauty of nature is to reveal Krishna to us. The power of the devotees association to reveal Krishna to us. And then Krishna is saying, okay, well, develop relationships with these devotees, because that is more dear to me than any of these relationships that you think you can develop with me. So that's what I take away from Prabhu's wonderful lecture today, and last night's quick visit to New York City. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, it's nicely, Prabhu summarized. How for us, we can reciprocate that same, means that in that footsteps of gopis, with the devotees, to serve them. And the wealth spiritual master gives us is the association of devotees. That's the, like, you know, that's the spiritual master gives us, like a father gives their children, they become heir to their property and all, the parents. So like that, you know, we are the heir to association of devotees. Spiritual master's wealth is association of devotees. So that's our, or say, you know, property coming from our spiritual master. But you know, we should cherish that, and then we care for it and take care of it by serving the devotees. So that's a beautiful.
Thank you. Krishna Kumari has their hand up.
I have more of like a question. You know, hearing that the gopis are saying they're ordinary persons. I don't know, my understanding has always been that, like, when Krishna was present in this form, you know, in Vrindavan and Dwarka, the personalities weren't quite as embodied as we are. Like their spirit body was, I don't know, it seems like it was more, their essence was more in their physical as well. Like they weren't quite hardened as us. I have another way of asking the same kind of question, in the sense that we hear that like these demons, right? Like they used to be outside of, like Krishna, he gets Bakasura and then Denakasura, but now we understand that they're actually within us. They're within our being. So I don't know, when I hear that the gopis are saying they're ordinary persons, it's just not true. I mean, come on. Anyway, I this is my understanding of how I've kind of processed over, I don't know, the time that I've been taking in this wonderful knowledge. So I was just wondering like what others would say to this kind of idea that like our physical bodies now 5,000 years later are much different than, like, our souls aren't as, they're not as yeah, the souls now are like they're so covered, whereas before the physical was embodied, the soul was there, like, I don't know if anybody can speak to that.
The question, someone first.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please enlighten us, Hari Purusha Prabhu. If we pinch you, will you feel it? You embodied enough to feel a pinch?
Hare Krishna. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. Certainly there are degrees of being covered over. Bhagavad Gita says covered over like a child in the womb, or smoke and fire or dust on a mirror. But there's the absolute truth. There's the relative truth based on time and circumstance. But there's the absolute truth that Krishna is so wonderful that no matter how fallen we are, no matter how covered over we are, that Krishna can reach down and touch our hearts and lift us up. He's there. He's capable, and there's no limit to his mercy and love for us. So we can be consoled by that eternal principle that Krishna is capable. By the grace of the spiritual master, no matter how fallen or how long we've been fallen, pure devotional service is available. And the criteria is to please Krishna. And anyone can do something with great love, some small thing, and Krishna will be pleased.
Yeah. Even if you are a horse, you can please Krishna by carrying Bhima on your back. There's always a way in which we can serve. Sundarnath Prabhu, a question very quickly. Is it true that gopis are pushing other devotees forward to let them serve Krishna? Is that true? Or they want Krishna for themselves?
Question. So in when gopis are with Krishna, that doesn't arise because Krishna expands in many forms. So whenever the gopis see that he is only with me, he's not going to any other gopi. He just loves me so much. Each gopi is thinking like that, and then Krishna provides them. So since in the physical world, it's this understanding that limited, but Krishna is unlimited. So when they are serving, they are just with Krishna, and like Krishna is mine. That is a specialty of gopis bhav. It's a whole different subject, that gopis think Krishna is mine, and they don't want to share Krishna with others.
There's enough Krishna for everyone, right, Sundarnath? Okay. Darshan time, cameras on, please, if you can. Hare Krishna, welcome to the Afterglow. Would anyone like to reflect on class? Please go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hare
Ganesha.
Krishna. Good morning. Yeah, I would say just one thing. I thought just in response to Krishna Kumari's question about when the gopis say that they're just ordinary people or ordinary women. Maybe I'm not getting to your question was maybe deeper than the way I'm answering it, but the way I hear that is like so far all of the dialogue between Krishna and the gopis is very it's like when you're arguing with a lover in a playful way and you're kind of like that it's I don't know what the right word is because it's so exalted. Like, I don't want to say they're being facetious, but they're being playful. I feel like that they obviously know that they're not ordinary beings, right? And they know who they are, but they're saying these things to kind of spur on the sort of lovers spat with Krishna. I don't know, is that what you were asking, Krishna Kumari? Like what they mean? Because you were sort of being like, what do they mean by that? And also I'm going to be meditating on what you said about sort of the solidity of our bodies over the yugas in terms in relationships to our souls. But is that what you were asking about, why the gopis were saying that?
Yeah, I mean, that's just what struck me, like this this idea of ordinary. They're just so not ordinary.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like they're
yeah.
just playing with they're playing with Krishna just to like kind of like, oh, we're just ordinary women, so of course we wouldn't understand. Kind of like, like you would do to kind of rile somebody in a lover's spat, like in a playful way. I don't know. Maybe off the mark, but Hare Krishna.
Very sweet. Thank you.
Well, Krishna is smiling, gopis are playing. Everything is in good order. Ram's crying. So I have to go. We're devoted. Thank you very much for your association. We love you. We need you. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. How wonderful is Krishna.